What is up, YouTube? My name is Joystick Overwatch. I have a brand new video for you today. I'm going to be talking about the tanks today. We're going to be doing a meta tier list video. There's been a recent patch with Brig getting buffed, Mei getting buffed, Baptiste getting buffed. That's really affected the tank lineup. I really just want to run through each tank pretty thoroughly for the most part to get you guys an idea of what are the best and worst tanks right now in Overwatch. As you guys know, I'm a top 500 player on PC. Make sure you check out my Twitch. I got links in the description for that. And let's get started. So right off the bat, I want to be talking about Sigma. Sigma is going to go right to the top at S tier for a couple good reasons. So Sigma is a hero that basically can do it all. He's kind of been a little OP in my opinion ever since his release, and he's been tuned a little bit here and there, but Sigma just creates so much space and provides so much poke damage and value. He can do range damage, right? He can do poke damage. He can shield break with his primary fire. He's got rock to cancel ultimates, rock to, cancel different abilities or stun different abilities, right? Creating space constantly and always taking high ground with Sigma makes him a really, really strong pick in this meta. So highly recommend playing Sigma, abuse that high ground control. If you ever, really any situation you can, always be looking to take high ground with Sigma, taking different off angles, and you create so much space, and you can contest snipers, you can contest different enemies in different places, and Sigma really just does it all. And on top of it, he has this really, really strong ultimate that you can just farm really fast. Actually, Gravitic Flux is basically the equivalent to a Graviton Surge almost. It's that game changing half the time. If you really want to land it on 2-3 targets, and or really focus on landing it on the enemy Sigma to try to win that 1v1 mirror. So Gravitic Flux is really strong, Sigma is really strong. Highly recommend this hero. Let's keep moving forward. So talk about Orisa. Orisa is going to be moving up to A tier, not quite S tier, just because I don't think Orisa alone, without the Orisa Sigma double barrier combo, is actually she's actually not that good on her own, but she's still a solid pick either way. I think obviously you guys have seen in your ranked games that people are running double barrier again. It's really sleeper. I don't enjoy it personally. It's my least favorite meta of all time. But that is the strongest composition as of right now. So Orisa with the Sigma, the double barrier, resident sleeper. I know you gotta shoot shields, but Orisa just provides so much value in terms of protecting your team constantly with shields. Her pull is what makes her really strong. If you can pull targets off high ground or pull targets together to combo with different abilities, Orisa is a really, really strong pick and hard to beat. So I think Orisa just, protects against the snipers too. Snipers are really meta right now in terms of DPS. So just having that extra safety net for your backline or your team, your squishies on your team, that shield provides so much value in terms of defense and even offense. You can hold W with this hero as well. So Orisa, really strong pick. Not quite S tier, but definitely A plus tier. I would highly recommend picking up this hero right now, especially with Sigma. I don't really love Orisa with Roadhog, honestly Orisa with any other hero but Sigma. That's the thing right now, which is different about this double shield meta compared to last double shield meta, is that Orisa is only really good with the Sigma. Okay, so keep that in mind. Roadhog, put Roadhog in at A tier, kind of A minus almost. I don't think he's A plus, even S, because Roadhog can be really good, actually, believe it or not, in terms of fighting the double barrier combo. If you get good with Roadhog in terms of, timing your hooks against two shields, which is hard to do and hard to get used to, but you break that first Orisa shield, break the Sigma shield, and then you just have to worry about one more Orisa shield coming off cooldown. You gotta land your hooks in those little pockets, that window right there. So, but you know, Roadhog is still really good, right? If you land hooks onto like squishies, you know, snipers, backline guys, you can still one-shot people and still get a lot of value there. You know, you can flank with Roadhog. Whole hog is still a really, really strong ability. I think Whole hog is really, really underrated actually in terms of ultimates. As far as ultimates go, Whole hog can either, you know, boot people off the map. You know, you can blow up shields. You can, you know, basically one-shot anyone that's like hooked in. You Whole hog them up close. You know, it's really, really underrated ultimate. So highly recommend the Roadhog if you are a good Roadhog player. But like, I don't think he's good in like every situation. That's why he doesn't make it quite up to A+ or S tier, because double barrier does kind of counter a Roadhog if you you know, aren't like playing smart, you aren't playing to break shields, and you aren't like landing hooks. You're not getting a lot of value, right? You become like an alt battery, and you know, for the other enemy team. So on to Wrecking Ball. I'm gonna put Wrecking Ball at A tier, probably like A-, almost B+. Just because I think Wrecking Ball still is a strong pick, and Wrecking Ball has been for a long time. You know, creating space, you know, contesting snipers, disrupting the back line, basically disrupting the entire team. Wrecking Ball still provides a ton of value. Minefield is still really good for zoning ultimate, you know, pile driving enemy targets, comboing it with pile drive. Wrecking Ball still is a good pick, but I have to say that Wrecking Ball is a really, really tough one right now, just because Brig got buffed. You know, you have to worry about Immortality Field. McCree got buffed. You know, there's a lot of different stun abilities, especially like Sigma has Rock. You know, Orisa has Pull. Roadhog has Hook. So there's so much CC in the meta right now. It's pretty tough to play a good Wrecking Ball. I won't lie to you, but you know, I've seen people pull it off. I've pulled it off myself, and I've definitely won games even against double barrier and stuff like that. So, you know, Wrecking Ball comboed with the Roadhog is still pretty solid in my opinion. You know, especially on control maps, you know, a lot of open space, a lot of room to work with. You got, if you combo with like a tracer on your team, you can actually get, you know, do a lot of damage. So don't sleep on Wrecking Ball quite yet in terms of meta. So I would definitely keep him up into the A tier, maybe drop him to B just because of the amount of CC, but you know, there's still a lot of people getting value off this hero. D.Va, which I'm gonna put on B, almost B-, just because D.Va still is pretty decent. Like Matrix obviously is one of the best abilities in the game, eating damage, especially against like, you know, Baptiste moving into the meta. You want to be eating like window damage from the Baptiste ultimate, and then like, you know, contesting different DPS snipers. You know, there's a lot of heroes that like have either hit scan or projectile aim within the meta that D.Va can really eat. And D.Va Bomb's still always a solid ultimate all around for the most part, if you know how to use it correctly for zoning or like taking points, or you know, blowing up the double shield setup. I think D.Va is still okay. I don't highly recommend this hero, but that's why she's into the B category, almost B-, even C+ almost, I would say. But I'm gonna leave her at B. Let's move on to Zarya. I'm gonna put in a Zarya at probably B- here, also like a C+-ish range. Zarya still finds value with, you know, obviously she has one of the best ultimates in the game, Graviton Surge. You can't deny that a high charge Zarya with Grav will not, you know, get value. I mean, obviously you have to land your Grav, you know, with like, and get value with follow-up, but you know, Zarya is still pretty strong, like regardless of all of that. I wouldn't sleep too much on Zarya, just because there are people that can utilize this hero to pretty good potential. And if you're shooting her bubbles, she's getting good energy, you're maintaining good energy, you're living throughout fights, Zarya's still pretty strong. So I don't love Zarya against like double barrier, obviously. You know, Sigma, Orisa should, you know, if everything equal, take down the Zarya, but you know, I've seen it work, and I've seen the Zarya pick work. Usually I'd run her with like a Roadhog. You know, that double off tank combo is still pretty decent. That was kind of like a little bit of meta last patch, if you guys saw my last meta video. So Zarya with the Roadhog, pretty solid. I wouldn't sleep too hard on this hero. So let's move on to Winston. I'm gonna bring Winston in at C. I'm gonna say like a C+-ish, almost B-. I feel bad, you know, I'm a main tank player myself, so like a lot of my main tanks that I usually play are falling down the meta, and it's so sad to see. But you know, Winston, you know, doesn't get a whole lot of value just because the amount of CC in the meta. Brig got buffed, there's Immortality Field, McCree got buffed, you know, double barriers meta. Like Winston just can't sustain in the fight long enough against double barrier or even like a Roadhog. Even if you run like Winston with Zarya, you get that bubble in and you get like the double bubbles, right? Still, like, I just don't see that working too well against double shield. And, you know, at the same time, Winston has to contest snipers. You know, it's double shield, double sniper meta. I know it's really sleeper. So Winston, I feel bad, but like, you know, Winston maybe could get B- just because sometimes I have seen it work. Depending on like maps with a lot of high ground, you think about Hollywood, Numbani, stuff like that, Watchpoint, Gibraltar, Winston still finds value in those situations. You know, even with like an Ana nano boost, on a nano boost onto the Winston, still pretty solid. You know, farm that primal rage up, you're gonna get value. So I think Winston's okay, but okay at best. Reinhardt, I'm gonna put Ryan actually at like C, like a C flat right now, maybe even C minus, almost D. Makes me so sad. But like Reinhardt's just, they nerfed him, like they nerfed his Earth Shatter, which is his one ability that actually made him like decent in the last double shield meta. Cause like you could, like in the last double shield meta, you could have ran Reinhardt with like Orisa or like Reinhardt Sigma, and you could have got value because Ryan was still pretty good at like holding his own. And if you landed Earth Shatters against double barrier, like you're gonna get a ton of value, right? But now they nerfed Earth Shatter, you know, a few patches ago, and he's just the worst pick ever, man. And Reinhardt's my main hero, so you guys, I know you got a lot of you guys feel from me here, but like Reinhardt's just, you know, not the best pick anymore. So I have found him. I have found a little bit of value on Ryan though. You know, think about Lijiang Tower Control Center. You know, boosts on meta. You know, like inside. There's just a lot of little choke points that you can run Ryan. I think, you know, even maybe on like Rialto, like pushing the cart, pushing the payload through. There are spots I have seen Reinhardt work. Okay, don't get me wrong. He's not useless. But, you know, I think Reinhardt deserves a buff at this point. We will see what happens with the meta. We'll see what Blizzard does with the next experimental card in the next patch. But that wraps things up here. Thank you guys for watching another meta tier list video. I'm going to be separating these videos in terms of roles. So this is the first video with this patch, talking about the tanks. Next video, I'm going to talk about DPS. And then third, I'll be talking about supports. But thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys will subscribe, like, and comment. Make sure you follow me on Twitch as well. I stream almost every night on Twitch. We can hang out. We can meet each other. I'd like to meet all my YouTube viewers because, you know, I got a lot of people come from YouTube that are just checking out my Twitch and loving the stream. So I will see you guys in the next video. Thank you.